Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the More Than Fantasy Football League podcast. I'm your host, the Imperial Godz, and I want you to do a couple things for me before we get into tonight's episode. Like, subscribe, and enjoy. Thank you, everybody. Hey, guess who's here? I'm here, baby. Welcome. I'm going to welcome all of you. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. I swear I do. I swear I do. I appreciate it. I really do. All right now. Well, I would like to thank everybody for coming on out tonight. I'm your host, the Imperial Godz, and this is More Than Fantasy Football League podcast. Let me tell you a little bit about this podcast. What it is a reimagining of the podcast for fantasy football that I've designed to actually open up a different angle to fantasy football. See, a lot of people have fantasy football podcasts, and they come out here and they tell you what to do, how to do it. They tell you who to draft, who not to draft, who's your sleepers, who's your bust, very generic. You get that everywhere, and I've always had an idea. See, back in the day, I wanted to create a reality TV show, and reality TV, it was really popping back in about 20 years ago when it started. Well, when it started getting real motion, I wanted to do a reality TV show, but fantasy football would be the focus, where we would follow players and see how they did during the season and what moves they made and how they went about making those moves, what's in their head, what turmoil comes up during the season and how the commissioner deals with that, what trades are there, intimate things about this reality show that I thought about. And that never came to fruition. But when this podcasting started coming out, I thought, hey, I can actually tell our story through a podcast and bring in our people from More Than Fantasy. And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing that, because I believe More Than Fantasy is the premier league out there, and it's one of the best leagues, bar none. I will put it up against any league ever that I've ever been a part of. I've heard More Than Fantasy is definitely, it's a lot. It's a lot of camaraderie, for one. It's a lot of competition. It comes with more than just fantasy football, because we also do a fantasy football league trip where if it's your turn to pick, we go to a different football stadium somewhere in the country just to watch a game. I mean, it's amazing. We take in the culture of the city, and then we go watch a football game for the NFL, and it's an amazing time with my bros. And we get it in. We try the foods. We have fun. We do things that you do. And it's hilarious because somebody's always end up playing somebody in one of the leagues that we have that stem from More Than Fantasy. And that relationship is what it is. When you're playing somebody, you don't want to be right next to them. So hopefully we do have that situation this year, and I can put it on here and I can record it and how we went about that happening during there. And then our league draft is coming up really soon, and that's in a couple weeks, and I'm going to make sure I do interviews of everybody there and tell you about, most of us are going to tell you about everybody and tell you how we like to do what we do and how we talk junk and how we come at each other left and right. It's a good time. I want everybody to really sit back and enjoy what you're about to see. Enjoy everybody in the league and what they bring to the league and all of their knowledge and experience, because we all have our different looks and we have our different ways of going about it. And I'm going to give that all to you guys. And you can make of it what you want to make of it. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to show you what people are doing. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing. Over the years, I've played this game and I've flourished in multiple leagues. And like I said, I've been doing it for this league itself over 20 years. This is our 20th season. And I started this league with Golden Flakes. He's my cousin and a member of this league. Back then, it was a whole different landscape of fantasy football. We didn't have what we have now. We didn't run to our phones and know everything that's happening every 5 seconds. It wasn't like that. We had to go and we had to learn what happened, when we got home. And we may have heard something on ESPN here and there if it's on the TV. And then we had to get back to our computers to make the updates. So if somebody went out in fantasy football, you had to go out and you had to go make sure you were the first ones to the computer just to get that man off the free agency. It's crazy. It was different then. It's different now. It's so much more different. It's so much more analytical because you got a billion people that think they know what's going on. They have a billion perspectives that you can listen to. There's also all the information right there in front of you where you can go get that information and you can use it for whatever you're going to use it for. Who do you trust in this game of fantasy football? Who lets you know who's going to be a bust? Who's going to let you know who's your sleepers? Who are you going to trust this year? Well, More Than Fantasy isn't here to tell you all that. More Than Fantasy is here to show you what we do. And what we do is we bring together a hell of a league with a bunch of dogs who play this game for keeps. And when I say that, I mean we play this game to the last second, to the last minute. And you're going to see it a bunch of times over the weeks because we go down to the final second. We'll go down to the final second of the last game on the final play, and that determined who won that week between one of our opponents. Now, if you're not familiar with fantasy football, this podcast is for kind of pros. I'm going to break down some of the lingo for you of what we do in fantasy football. We run our league on ESPN. ESPN has always been our league. We've been using it for a while now. I'll go ahead and show you our league, and it's very basic. It's simple. It's not hard to follow when it comes to our league. It is a PPR, which means it's point per reception. And everybody knows points per reception means you get a point every time you catch the ball. This is America. People like points per reception. I like points per reception. It's the best way to go. I'll be remiss in my duties if I didn't mention our last year's champ, and his name was Doughboy. Doughboys was our last year's champ, and let me go ahead when I pull this up, share my screen with you guys. It's our league office. All right, now on our league office, you're gonna see it's gonna show what happened last year. And last year's champ was Doughboys. Second place was T-Dot. Third place was Gotti. Yours truly was actually fourth place. But I was so mad I wasn't worried about third place game. I definitely want to be on the podium, though, at least with one of these medals. Let's go, and I want to be introducing you to all of our players or league owners as we go along. These guys got some real experience they bring to More Than Fantasy. And we've been doing this for so long. We know each other. We know how we gonna work. We know what we're gonna do in the drafts. And we run this thing with 2 different divisions. And when you got your 2 different divisions, this is how it works, where the division leader gets the bye week 14 or week 15, whatever week that is. I know with the extra game, things kind of changed, but the division leader will get the bye. So you have to win in your division in order to get there. Get that bye week, and that bye week is peace of mind. Everybody wants that. That gets you to the second round of the playoffs. That means you got one more win to get to the championship. And that's how we run our playoffs. And the top 6 teams will go to the playoffs. But the top 2 people in the division get that bye. That's big time. Now, meet your Elite East. These are your elite players in the East. You got the Imperial Godz, which is me. You know your boy. I love this game. I love playing this game. And then we got your boy Trenches. Trenches is actually going to drop our first week 1 intro after this tonight. He's cool character. We call him Fabe Shefty, so look out for Fabe Shefty. He comes with the news. The next guy we're going to pull up, and this is DW Mustangs. DW Mustangs, man. Let me tell you about this guy. This is my grandfather. He's 90 years old, smart as a whip. And he's been playing in this league about 6 years, and he's never missed the playoffs. That's how smart he is at 90 years old. And I say that this league ain't no joke. To come in here and make the playoffs, We got people with no championships. He's got two, and he's got two with 6 playoff appearances in 6 years. That's amazing. 2 championships, 6 years at 90 years old, and he's the funniest person you'll ever meet. I'm going to bring him on here, and he's hilarious. You guys are going to have a great time with him on More Than Fantasy. Keep in mind, this is my intro show. I'm trying to tell you what we're all about. I'm trying to give you a little bit of insight into what we do here on More Than Fantasy and what we're comprised of. So as I go along and I get there, we're warming up. I'm going to tell you it's going to be a good show. Just follow along with your boy. I got you. I promise. Next, we got Doughboys, our league champ. He was our league champ last year. Only been in the league a couple years, but that was his first playoff run. He had a dominant team last year. He drafted unbelievable, got no injuries, went all the way. Amazing. Next is Golden Flakes co-founder. That's my cousin. Been in this league the whole time. He's got 4 championships. He's the only one to have 4 championships, exactly like me. So that next championship between the both of us will lead to the guy with the most championships in the league and bragging rights. It's very, very important that I get that championship before he does. That's my only mission in life. You got to understand, like, fantasy football is not for the weak. You know what I'm saying? Fantasy football, it causes battles, hardship. It causes issues. It is one thing that we play that can break up family. You can uncousin your cousin, like I like to say in this world. Ain't no love lost. You want to win this at the end of the day. There's no love lost in fantasy. I'm telling you, it'll take you off your rocker. And we'll get into that. But next, let's go over to your Elite West. And T-Dot. T-Dot's your first guy up at the Elite West. T-Dot, he's a little troll with that name, and we'll get into that later on. When we get into this interview, we'll go over that name. But he's been in this league for, I think, 8 or 9 years already. He's got 2 chips. I mean, he's been playing. He's actually went to back-to-back chips and only won one. I'm the only one that's been in back-to-back chips and won both chips. And I'm the only person that won the 3 chips in a row. So I've been to over 7 chips in this league. I'm telling you right now, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I'm saying all these different things, but I've had people come and go. But everybody said this is where they pay their attention to. This is the best league they've ever been in. They all say that right away. And I have people come and go, and it's because of reasons. When you come to this league, you are held at another level where you have to make sure that you put in your lineup. You can't just let anybody just go and win. I don't care if you lost 6 games in a row, 7 games in a row. You're not looking to go in the playoffs. You're still putting in the lineup because you want to come back next year for your revenge. Here's where you want to come back for your revenge. So come on back. All right, so let's go on to the next person. We got Game Cop Blow. Game Cop and Blow has been in the league like 16, 17 years. That's my boy. He out in Colorado. And we all over the place. We're all over the country. So Game Cop and Blow, he's got a chip. And most of our players do have a chip. But like I said, people have been coming in and coming out. And different leagues have branched off from More Than Fantasy. And we have other More Than Fantasy legends that are playing in other leagues that are no longer in the More Than Fantasy. Whether it's for some reason or, you know, this league is, we run it for a little bit of a price tag that some people can't hit, but some people can. And I'm looking to expand this league. So I'm going to let you guys know how that goes before I get off today's podcast. Next, we got End Zone Boys. End Zone Boys is, he's cool, man. He's, I'm going to make sure we do host some shows together, bring him in here so you guys can see what he does. And he's got some different perspectives. I'm telling you, when he sends out trades, the first thing you're going to do is laugh at it because his trades are crazy. They're diabolical. They need to call him Trade Man Diabolical. You know, you got that one guy in the league who sends out them trades. The one, he's him. He's him, and he justifies them every single time. He's the guy who sends out that trade. You're like, come on. Come on. But you need him there. You need him there because he's going to keep everybody on their toes. At the same time, I'm all powerful when it comes to making sure if I see the trade, and because I'm the commissioner, because I put the work in, I can approve that trade. Now, somebody can come to me and say that trade doesn't look right. And then I'm going to bring it to the league. And then the league can go ahead and say we could put it to a vote. But that's how we work in More Than Fantasy, where the commissioner, I've earned that right and that respect in order to rule on any trade that I think is fit. Now, I let most trades fly. I'm going to let you know that right now. I let most trades fly. I'm not looking to be a trade cop. I'm not looking to be the commissioner who rules with an iron fist, who doesn't. I'm not envious of trades either. So, you get those leagues where you see commissioners find a trade come in and they say, man, that trade ain't for me. I'm going to go ahead and not approve that trade. It'd be on some hating. They be hating. I don't hate on no trade. I'm not trying to hate on no trade. If it sounds right, if you can make it make sense. But if I get a bunch of people in the league saying, hey, that don't pass the smell test, that trade don't pass the smell test, then, commission's going to look out. And I'm the Imperial Godz. The Imperial does the Imperial thing. That means we're going to keep it classy. That's why I call myself the Imperial Godz, because I do have the power, but I keep it classy because I'm Imperial. That's royal. You know what I mean? And I enjoy this game. I enjoy being on fantasy football, and I love doing what I do. So I want you guys to, just come with me on this journey. It's gonna be fun. All right, we got Team Gotti coming up next. Team Gotti been here for he's been here forever, but he doesn't have a chip, and he's a little quiet. I don't think I'm gonna be able to bring him to the fold. I let him know. I was like, hey man, when can I get your interviews on here? He's like, I can't do none of that stuff. I'm like, oh man, come on. What happens if you win a chip, bro? I need you to come on here. So I might not get nothing from him during this thing, but he knows he's gonna be watching. I know he's gonna watch this and he's gonna talk junk about it. But that's my brother. That's my bro. And we're gonna keep it popping. We're gonna keep it moving. Hopefully I can get him on here and do an interview with him so he can just give me his insights and how he feel. But, I'm going to let him be the oddball out because he's earned that. And last but not least, the infamous, he's my betting guru, my bro. Infamous is going to bring everything to you guys. He's raw, he's rugged, and he knows his bets. He's going to have a segment on here where he's going to give you his lines and what you guys should be doing as far as your parlays go. And however he gets it going, that's going to be cool once we get that going. I promise you're going to really love him. Trenches is going to have a segment on here, Fabe Shefty. So we're going to have that going. What's popping with Trenches? He's going to give us the good news. We're going to have a good segment with that. And I'm going to really bring you some real cool stuff that I really see that's popping up. I'm going to try to follow along all year and do things like live reactions as we come to a playoff game. I'm going to do live reactions as we're going, as points are accumulating, as trades are coming, just live reactions on what are happening through the league, what's happening around the league, games. And we run our games like everybody else does in fantasy football, and our playoffs are most like everybody else when it comes to playoff formats. You're going to enjoy how everybody works in this league because it'll give you insight to what they're doing. I'm going to call out what happened on the waiver wire every week. I want to call out what happened on free agency. I want to talk about what the trades were put in, what trades were denied. I want to talk about the trades that were sent to me that nobody else sees. So, I want to talk about the trades that my league are talking about. So if somebody hits me on the side like, yo, Imperial, check out this trade this man is sending, you guys are going to hear about it. You guys are going to hear about these trades. And I'm going to post them. Now, my league, a lot of people don't want you to see what they're sending everybody. But, we're going to have it up here in the forefront. But it's also going to be, what happened previous. So whatever happened in the week previous, I'm going to report that. That way I don't give away anybody's plans or strategies for the upcoming week. I want to give everybody that respect. So if I see something happening during that week, of course it's going to get reported the next week. That way I don't mess nobody up. I don't want to be called a hater or a sabotager. Enough's enough when you're the commissioner of a league. You get all the blame and none of the praise, And And I'm telling you, here in More Than Fantasy, you get your money. You know how big that is, that you get your money? You make sure that you get paid here in More Than Fantasy. Now, I want the bragging rights more than anything. But if you come here and you put your money in the pot, you make the playoffs, and you come back with one of those prizes, you get it. You get your trophy, you get your ring. You get all of that. Now, we do have a couple different things we do as well. Like, if you get 3 division championships, I get you a jersey, a MTF jersey, the way you want to sign. MTF is the short abbreviation for More Than Fantasy. So when I say MTF, don't get left behind, all right? So keep up with me. Keep up with your boy. So MTF is how we explain this thing. Everything's MTF because it's More Than Fantasy. It really is. It's a camaraderie of brothers who came together to make a dope league. And we've been running for a long time. We do so much cool stuff. Now, these are the 10 people that I just, the 10 people I showed you before. Those are our 10 people are in the league. But this league has a bunch of leagues that pivot off of this league, the way we do scoring, the way we run it. And those people also played in More Than Fantasy. They're a part of More Than Fantasy too. We got a lineage. And I told you we're looking to expand. I mentioned that earlier. The expansion is going to be an expansion league that I'm opening up next year. Depending on how much movement I get here and you guys tuning in, I get a bunch of people liking, subscribing, and liking what they see and all that good stuff. Come on in and put a comment at the bottom. Say you want to join. You'll enter a lottery next year. Come on into fantasy football with More Than Fantasy. You'll be in the new expansion league. You'll get vetted first. Of course, we're going to make sure that you can hold up and that you've done what you wanted to do in fantasy or what we need you to do to qualify to get into More Than Fantasy because we don't play no games. There's no quitting here. So if you want to get in here, you got to know, one, there's no quitting. You get thrown out because you quit. You get thrown out quick. Man, I don't care. If you're not going to play, I don't care how close we are. Come on, Imperial, man. Nah, bro. I done had cousins playing this league, but they wasn't serious about it. They didn't do their homework. They coming in picking 2-year-ago players that still got a name. Now, we can't have that. I want somebody in here that knows what they're doing, knows what we're doing out here, knows that we coming to play every single week. More Than Fantasy is life. And everybody who plays fantasy football knows that it's not the same once it's gone. You play fantasy football, you know during this time you're most happy. Nothing else matters on Sunday. As soon as Red Zone comes on, that's where I'm plopped. I'll be right here sometimes going live with you guys to my reaction to what's going on in the league, and I'll be able to run the numbers and show you who's winning and who's doing what, and probably bring some of my brothers in here to do some side-by-side interviews. We'll do all that. We'll do some cool stuff. I want you guys to be a part of what I'm doing. I want you guys to really understand that, I want you to relate. I don't want you to listen to us. I want you to relate. Relate to what we have going on because it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to sit back and look and say, dang, we went through that. Our league went through that. I seen that trade. I seen a trade just like that. And then I'm going to also have people call into the show, do live ones so I can go back and forth. And when I bring Grandpa on this show, I promise you, DW Mustangs is going to definitely make this funny. He is so funny. I'm definitely going to bring out segments of other people that have been on the league who know a little bit about fantasy football. And we're going to have a good year this year. This being our first episode, I'm so nervous coming into this thing and how was I going to do it? And I learned in life, you just do. And I just been doing, I think of something and this has been an idea on me. I was like, well, I got to do. So just do, see what happens. Because you'd be afraid unless you try it. And I had to try this because I'm so into it. I'm so passionate about it. I could talk about fantasy football all day. I know what I think, but here's the thing. Everything you see, everything you hear about fantasy football, 90% of it is bullshit out there right now. All the content is bullshit. Nobody knows who's going to get hurt. We got this saying in our league, and I hate the saying because I only believe that I believe it's 50%. It's only 50% correct, you know? And Flakes came up with it. It's called either you get the luck or you don't. Egloid. Either you get the luck or you don't. He came up when you say in fantasy, either you get the luck or you don't. Egloid. We actually got another sister league called Egloid where either you get the luck or you don't because they truly believe that. I believe it's a mixture between luck and skill. It's a mixture between luck and skill. Fantasy isn't just luck or skill. It's a mixture of both. Of course, you need health. Everybody needs health. Everybody got to know this guy's got to stay upright in order for me to, establish a dope team. This guy's got to be here. And everybody wants that to happen, but who knows? Who knows if that person doesn't get hurt? Second, you want him to perform. Because I'm telling you, 5 out of the first 10 players are going to shit on you. 5 of them. 5 out of the first 10 players picked in the draft are going to shit on you. You got to know that. You got to make sure you don't have one of those 5. And there's ways to see. There's ways to tell. There's telling the numbers. There's telling the feelings. You got the first 10 players picked off the draft. We don't know who those guys are going to be. And our league is different. And you know what guys do in your league. Who are they fans of? Who they want to draft because they watch this team. Let me tell you about the Imperial Godz, and I'm going to keep it 100% real with you. The Imperial Godz cares nothing about any team in the NFL when it comes to this thing called fantasy. It's fantasy first. That's why it's more than fantasy to me, because it's fantasy first. I don't care about any team. I'm not going to sit here and come to you as a fan ever. I am straight down the middle when it comes to this fantasy thing. What can you do for me, and what have you done for me lately? What? Let me know. Because I don't care that if you're on my football team that I'm a fan of. You got to be putting in production. I have no emotional attachment whatsoever. And that's why I think I get successful in this game. Because I let that go. Once I let that go, I realize, hey, I'm in this for me because they in this for them. I know they are. Them guys, they getting paid for this. I'm in this to have fun, but I'm going to tell you right now, winning a football league or fantasy football league championship, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it at all. It's one of the best feelings I've ever had. And that's no cap. I'm going to keep it real with you guys 100%. It's no cap when I say that. This is one of the best feelings ever. You know why I love it so much? I love the feeling of, just having to bite your nails to the cuticle because every single point matters and you're down to the last game and it's Monday night and he's got one player left, you got one player left, and we're watching this thing and we're going against each other and only the points matter at that point, and your heart is racing. And every touchdown you feel exhilarated that you get. And then every touchdown that he gets or she gets, you feel defeated. You feel that emotional letdown. You know how it is. You do good in the beginning, and all of a sudden, you want to watch the rest of all the games. Now you do bad. You're not winning in fantasy. You don't want to watch games no more. You lost this week. You want to sit back and to be like, oh man, I don't even want to see this no more. You mad. You can't even get through the Monday night game because you already got smoked. Fantasy is hilarious. Fantasy is drama. And that's why I brought it to you guys, vivid as I did, because it's drama. You get in on fantasy football and it's like, what? Before you get into the draft, you know who you want to draft. You about 8 or 9 rounds deep into knowledge, you know what I mean? And I don't recommend that. I recommend you know what you about to do from round 1 to round 13. If you don't step in the ring here in More Than Fantasy, because we will run you over. We will run you over. We're going to get everybody you thought about getting. Our draft room is one of the best. But in fantasy, it's the highs and the lows. There's so many highs, there's so many lows. You go up, you go down. You go round and round. It's just up and down, up and down. It's what you're going to get. Fantasy football, same thing make you laugh, make you cry. That's another saying that we have in our league. Same thing make you laugh, make you cry. You're sitting here laughing. I just got an 80-yard bomb. Ha ha ha. And we like bonus points for those 80-yard bombs, but you just got one. All of a sudden, boom, one's done on you. Another one's done on you. Back to back. You was just laughing about that 80-yard bomb that you got. Now you got all that despair in your heart. It's just going, oh man. Boom. Blew up. All that joy just went into like despair. And that happens so often in this thing called More Than Fantasy. Despair can turn into joy. Comebacks. Amazing comebacks. 1 point. Comebacks. Where I've won. Where people won. Your league, I know it's happening. I know you see it. Enjoy More Than Fantasy because we bring all that drama to you live. I can't wait to introduce you to my bros. I can't wait to show you how we do it at More Than Fantasy, why we call it More Than Fantasy. I can't wait to bring you in for our draft. I can't wait to bring you in to the live production I'm going to roll at our league trip. Show you how we do it. Just show you some fun over the years that we had. You're going to love these characters. You're going to love this thing as we go along. These guys have really, I can't take credit for all of this. I haven't built it by myself. I built it with a team of people who helped me build the league and helped me build the idea. But now we're trying to build a culture, and we're going to bring that to you guys live. And I'm going to really enjoy bringing this culture to you, really. It's been a dream come true to start a podcast, to have this live, to get my voice out there so I can, just do something different and capture this moment that I'm enjoying, that I want you to enjoy with me. I said it 1,000 times. I started this league 20 years ago, and I called it More Than Fantasy because back then I knew that it was more than fantasy to me, because I thought I had so much more feelings than just fantasy football. A lot of casuals look at that and say, why do you play fantasy? It's a fantasy thing. It's more than that. It's more than that. And this is a culture we're going to bring to you. We're going to bring you a production that's going to be real cool, that I can hang my hat on and say, hey, I did that. We did that. Me and the bros did that. And we're going to bring more people into it, and we're going to spread our voice across the world so that you can hear, hopefully. And if not, we're going to have fun doing this regardless. I promise I give you all on this thing. I'm going to give you everything I got. I'm going to make it as fun as possible. I want you guys to really enjoy what you're seeing and what you're hearing from me, because I'm kicking 20 years of fantasy football knowledge of a great league. Now, I've been playing longer than that, but I've started this 20 years ago. And I'm gonna let you know right now, I started it with the intent of it being more than just fantasy football. And that's why we call it More Than Fantasy. And that's why you're here. That's why I'm here. That's why we're all here together in More Than Fantasy Football, to hear what a different perspective on and a different look at the way we see a fantasy football league podcast. The Imperial Godz is the name, and fantasy football is why we came. Enjoy what you guys are going to see. Thank you for coming out. Remember, like, subscribe, and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed tonight. Signing out. Peace.
Scars are dead, and I hate my haters readily. There's no debate.